Miracle on 133rd Street by Sonia Manzano, illustrated by Marjorie Priceman. Jose was decorating the tiniest Christmas tree ever. It was practically a twig. And what was he supposed to do with the leftover ornaments? Jose! His mommy yelled. Jose rushed into the kitchen and bumped into his father. His name was Jose, too. The oven is too small for the roast, Mommy said. We never should have left Puerto Rico. There we could have roasted it outside. Everything is too small here, she added. Small kitchen, small apartment, small everything. We need a bigger oven. What we need is a pizza oven, said Jose, trying to make a joke. Jose knew his mother needed a joke. Every Christmas she got homesick for Puerto Rico. That's not a bad idea, said Poppy. They put the roast in the biggest box they could find and started out for Regular Ray's Pizzeria. As soon as they closed their apartment door, Mrs. Whitman in 4B stuck her nose out of hers. Oh, what's all this racket? She demanded. We're going to get our Christmas, Jose started to explain. Christmas, Christmas, Christmas. That's all I hear all day. My kids are driving me crazy. I can't wait until these holidays are over and they're back in school. And she slammed her door. As soon as that door had closed and Jose and Poppy had walked down to the third floor, old Mr. and Mrs. Santiago in 3C opened their door. Is something wrong? Mr. Santiago sighed. No, said Poppy. We're just going to the pizzeria to get this roasted for our celebrations. We have celebrations, Mr. Santiago said, when the children visit. But they can't come this year, Mrs. Santiago finished saying for him. And with that, they closed their door softly. That's how it was in that building on 133rd Street, except for Mr. Franklin, who only peeped out of his peephole. It's only us, Mr. Franklin, said Poppy. Oh, whispered Mr. Franklin from the other side of the door. I thought someone's television was being stolen. No, no, no. This is our roast. We're going to the pizzeria to... Are you nuts? Going out on the day before Christmas? That's when all the muggers are out. And it's snowing. You'll break your leg running away from them. Mr. Franklin was very scared. Then they came upon the Wazinskis, who lived in 2B. Oh dear, won't roasting that cost a lot of money? Said Mrs. Wazinski when they told her what they were going to do. That's what I hate about the holidays, added Mr. Wazinski. All the money you have to spend. Who has money to spend on a roast? Before Jose and his father could answer, the De Palmo twins ran past Mr. De Palmo, chasing them. Wait, you need your boots, he yelled, and then he paused long enough to remark, money is tight for me too. My taxi's been in the shop for weeks. It's awful. I'll tell you what's awful, said Miss Simmons from downstairs. Shopping. I couldn't come up with anything for my nephews. I have 7 of them. What am I going to do? Don't buy anything, Mr. Wazinski said. There's too much buying on the holidays. And the packages, they hold up the mail. The roast began to feel heavier and heavier. Oh my goodness, so many people complaining. Look at all the people in the apartment. Outside, Jose's best friend, Yvonne, was helping her brother, Petey, take out the garbage. Merry Christmas, Jose said. It snowed just like you hoped. But before Yvonne could say hello back, Petey barked, Hurry up, Yvonne. We still have to shovel the walk. We'll be here all night. Uh-oh, there's the Palmo twins. A snowball whizzed right past her head. Hey, Jose called to the De Palma twins. It's okay, Jose, Yvonne said. I love the snow. And off Jose and Poppy went, past the Happy Full Tummy Food Store, where Mr. Happy was making sure the price tags on the Christmas trees hadn't blown off, and over the Bronx River to Regular Ray's Pizzeria. A bell chimed as they walked into the pizzeria, which was empty except for Mr. Ray. Nobody eats here on Christmas Eve. They just take their pies and go home, he said. While Pappy talked to Mr. Ray about using his oven, Jose went to look at the Christmas tree in the corner. He'll do it, Pappy called out to Jose. It should be ready in 3 hours. Jose slid under the tree and waited, and waited, and waited. The next thing he heard was his father calling him. Jose, wake up! The roast is done. And that's when it hit him. A scent, a most glorious scent, a scent so garlicky and olivey, oily and delicious it made you want to eat, even if you weren't hungry. A bouquet that made you feel excited, except you didn't know why. A smell that made you feel something wonderful could happen, but you didn't know what. The aroma seemed to lift Jose to his feet and wrap itself around all of them like a scarf. There was nothing left to do but hug. Have a wonderful dinner. Feliz Navidad, said Mr. Ray. But why don't you join us? Asked Poppy suddenly. We always celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve. Oh, but I have to mop the floor and polish the... Then he took a deep breath. What am I saying? There are no more customers, and it is Christmas Eve. He put on his coat and grabbed a package from the freezer. Some of my cannolis for your wife, he said as the door chime closed behind them. The snow had stopped. The sky was blue-black, and the stars looked close enough to pluck right out and put into your pocket if you wanted to. But Jose decided to leave them just where they were. His father and Mr. Ray waltzed on with the roast as Jose floated on ahead until they found themselves in front of the Happy Full Tummy vegetables and fruit stand. A customer was arguing with Mr. Happy. This tree costs too much money, she barked. It does not, snapped Mr. Happy. Well, then, never mind, said the customer, and she began to stomp away. Then she sniffed the air. paused and turned back. Well, it is a beautiful tree and just the right size, she said. And then the aroma formed a halo around Mr. Happy's head, and he said, "Oh, just take it, no charge. It's Christmas Eve." Jose and his father looked at each other, then continued on their way, weaving and wafting until they got to their building. "Look at this." Ooh, Yvonne took a sniff, dropped her shovel, and followed them inside. "Wait for me," her brother said. The hall filled with the smell of the roast. Everyone opened their door at the same time. "Is that a roast I smell?" said someone. "See," said Poppy. "Why don't you all come and help us eat it?" They knew the aroma had reached the third floor because the Wazinskis and Mr. Franklin were standing in the hallway, talking. "Mr. Franklin, we haven't seen you in years," Mr. Wazinski was saying. "I was just thinking I'd run to the bodega to buy some Christmas cookies before they close." "And a cake would be nice, too," added Mrs. Wazinski. "A great big fancy one. It's Christmas Eve." "Why don't I go with you?" said Mr. Franklin. "I feel like making a snow angel." Oh my. Jose, Poppy, and Mr. Ray got the roast up to their floor. Mommy was already in the doorway looking dreamy. "Oh, it smells like home," she said. And before they could even get the roast into the apartment, Mrs. Whitman, her children, Mr. and Mrs. San Diego, were upon them. "Please come celebrate Christmas with us," said Mommy. "We have a beautiful Christmas tree and a huge roast." Celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve as well as Christmas Day? What a great idea! "The children will love it," said Mrs. Whitman, giving each a hug as she ushered them in. "Let us get our guitars," offered the San Diegos. "Our children love singing carols." Yvonne and Petey came bounding up the stairs with a few extra chairs. "I thought these might come in handy," Petey said, smiling. As Jose, Poppy, and Mr. Ray came through the door, the miraculous aroma filled up the apartment quickly, and the guests filled the apartment even quicker. "You know, this is the first time since the boys were born that I haven't worked on Christmas. This Christmas I can spend time with them," said Mr. De Palma. "Spend time with them? Why didn't I think of that? That's what I'll do. Take my nephew skating in Central Park over Christmas break," said Miss Simon. Mommy looked at all the people in the apartment and said to her two Jose's, "Thank goodness this apartment is big enough to hold all our family. It's a miracle." Yvonne and Jose decorated the window with the leftover decorations. The tree was perfect, and the roast tasted pretty good, too. The end.